That's why Shohei is loved by everyone.
Shohei Ohtani is widely known for his calm and gentle personality. But it was revealed through the testimony of his teammate Mookie Betts that he once became furious with a teammate, sending shockwaves across the United States. Why did Ohtani get so angry at a teammate? Let's take a closer look at the little-known truth behind the incident.
Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe.
The unusual scene Betts witnessed.
With Dodger Fest just around the corner, the Los Angeles Dodgers were holding a closed practice at Dodger Stadium. There were no cameras, no fans, just players and coaches on the field. And the action Shohei Ohtani took that day completely changed the atmosphere throughout the stadium. That day, pitcher Roki Sasaki was struggling during his bullpen session. He couldn't quite get the feel for his splitter. Sasaki was having a hard time adjusting to MLB baseballs, whose lower seams make them more slippery. Pitch after pitch, his splitter kept missing the target. Each time he threw it, he tilted his head in frustration. At one point, he let out a deep sigh. Muttering to himself, he lightly kicked the mound with the tip of his cleat. Even without a word, that kind of frustration is something everyone can read through body language alone. The one who snapped at him like that was none other than Mookie Betts, a team leader for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Through his long career in MLB, Betts has seen many talented players come and go. Players with incredible ability who still couldn't turn it into lasting success. At that moment, Roki Sasaki was showing the same kind of behavior. Betts had seen from those players before. In reality, this isn't unusual at all. It's the kind of thing young players sometimes do without even realizing it. But those actions can end up affecting not only yourself, but your teammates as well. And there was another person who was concerned about Sasaki's behavior. That was Shohei Ohtani, who was taking batting practice in the cage nearby. Shohei Ohtani noticed Roki Sasaki's behavior, but at first he only sent a quick glance his way. But as Sasaki kept failing and showing visible frustration, Ohtani couldn't just stand by anymore. The moment Sasaki missed another pitch, Ohtani quietly set his bat down. After saying a quick word to his practice partner, he stepped out of the cage and walked straight toward Sasaki. Mookie Betts later recalled the unusual moment like this. Shohei looked different than usual. He wasn't smiling. It was an expression you would never expect from the normally calm and gentle Ohtani. Ohtani stepped onto the mound and looked Sasaki straight in the eyes. The details of that conversation were later explained by interpreter Will Ireton. "Don't hang your head. No one here allows that. You didn't miss because you lacked skill. You missed because you're afraid the ball will slip." The tension in the bullpen instantly rose. Roki Sasaki straightened his back and listened carefully, his face serious as he focused on the words of his veteran teammate. But the tense atmosphere on the mound didn't last long. Suddenly, Shohei Ohtani's expression softened. He gently placed a hand on Sasaki's shoulder and gave him a small smile. Then he showed him how to grip the ball and demonstrated the feeling of the release right there on the mound. Trust your hands. You're throwing with fear of failure. Trust yourself and let it go. Right after those harsh words, Ohtani shifted into giving technical advice. Mookie Betts, who witnessed the entire exchange, later said that Ohtani's actions left a strong impression on him. If Shohei had gotten angry and just walked away, it would have been a lecture. But right after being tough on him, he helped him. He didn't leave any negative feelings behind. After that, Shohei Ohtani simply returned to his own practice as if nothing had happened. It was like he was saying what needed to be said. After that, it's up to him. That's how Betts looked back on the moment. On the other hand, Roki Sasaki himself also spoke honestly about the incident. To be honest, I was a little surprised at the time. I never expected a veteran to step in like that so directly. At the time, Sasaki was just 23 years old and still trying to find his way in an unfamiliar environment. Pitching is an incredibly delicate craft. If the release point is off by even the slightest amount, the ball can miss the strike zone by a wide margin. Struggling to get the results he wanted, Sasaki found himself lost and dealing with the pressure on his own. My breaking pitches just weren't getting more precise, and every day I kept thinking about what I was doing wrong. I wasn't trying to be negative, but when you can't throw the way you want, your body just reacts on its own. That's how Sasaki later described the frustration he was going through at the time. That's exactly why Shohei Ohtani's short words struck such a deep chord. The moment he heard them, Roki Sasaki realized the problem wasn't his technique. In Major League Baseball, the way a pitcher carries himself on the mound is considered an important part of the game. If you show frustration in your attitude, it can be seen as a sign that you're not ready, and a bad rhythm can spread to your teammates. In the worst case, it can affect the defense behind you and even the team's offense. Sasaki understood this in theory, but he hadn't truly grasped its meaning until that moment. For him, it became a major realization. And what stayed with him the most was what happened right after the harsh words. As soon as Ohtani finished speaking firmly, he placed a gentle hand on Sasaki's shoulder with a soft expression. That moment left a deep impression on Sasaki's heart. In the interview area at Dodger Fest, Mookie Betts looked back on that moment. What made me think the most wasn't just Shohei's toughness. It was the timing of when he chose to do it. In MLB, many veteran players still have a habit of staying silent, even when they see a rookie struggling. According to Betts, that's not simply about liking someone or not. It's because there's a strong culture that believes players should overcome those struggles on their own. But, as Betts explained, he didn't leave Roki Sasaki alone. He knew that if he left it that way, that frustration could turn into a habit. That's how Betts described the moment involving Shohei Ohtani. So why was Shohei Ohtani able to see that situation so clearly? One possible reason is that Ohtani himself faced the same wall during his first year in Major League Baseball. At the time, the 23-year-old Ohtani was alone in an environment where everything was different from Japan. MLB baseballs are known for being more slippery, and combined with the dry climate of Arizona, they were said to feel even slicker in his hand. There were moments when his fastball bounced in front of the plate or his breaking pitches hung over the middle. He struggled with inconsistent command. And it wasn't just the baseballs. He also had to adjust to the harder MLB mound. By working through those challenges one by one in real game situations, Ohtani gained valuable experience that may have sharpened his instincts. And knowing Ohtani's personality, he may not have been able to simply stand by and watch Roki Sasaki go through the same struggles he once faced. After practice, even Mookie Betts noticed a clear change in Roki Sasaki. He didn't suddenly become perfect, Betts said with a laugh. But his body language was completely different. The sighs were fewer, he wasn't hanging his head as much, and most importantly, that self-blaming vibe was gone. His technique hadn't dramatically changed, but his attitude and the way he carried himself had clearly shifted. Something anyone could notice right away. In the end, Betts summed it up like this: That moment really shows who Shohei Ohtani is. At this level, kindness doesn't always mean comforting someone. Sometimes it's the toughness that guides them in the right direction. And Shohei understands that better than anyone. And regarding that tough encouragement from Shohei Ohtani, Roki Sasaki shared his thoughts like this. That means he expects something from me. He's not asking for perfection. He's asking me to uphold the standard. And what you see in those words isn't just harsh criticism. It was a form of trust, something said because Sasaki is part of the team. At the same time, it was a clear sign of the expectations placed on him. But it also means something else. Your attitude in practice and the way you carry yourself on the mound are always being watched. If you're someone who has been chosen to play for the Los Angeles Dodgers, then you should step on the field with confidence. That was the message hidden inside Ohtani's short but powerful words. So why do Shohei Ohtani's words carry such powerful conviction? Because his words are backed by an unshakable standard. One that has been built and refined through daily discipline. And why did that moment leave such a lasting impression on Mookie Betts? So much so that he says he'll never forget it? When you start searching for the answer, the outline of what a true leader looks like slowly begins to appear. There was intention behind the order of the words Shohei Ohtani spoke to Roki Sasaki. First, stabilize the mindset before talking about technique. That priority was very different from the long-standing MLB culture of figure it out on your own. At the same time, it closely reflects the organizational philosophy of the Los Angeles Dodgers, a team that values the collective strength of the group. In many ways, this approach symbolizes the evolving image of leadership in modern professional sports. Sasaki is someone who was chosen by the Dodgers. And Ohtani understood that Sasaki possessed both the talent and the ability to quickly adjust once he was given the right hint. That's why Ohtani decided that before addressing the mechanics, he first needed to stop the downward spiral in Sasaki's mindset and body language. If left alone, it could have disrupted not only his technique, but the rhythm of his entire pitching performance. Ohtani recognized the importance of that order and made it clear through both his words and his actions. This is one of the defining characteristics of Shohei Ohtani's leadership. And what Ohtani truly wanted to convey to Roki Sasaki was this: your daily preparation is what creates your standard. As Mookie Betts explained after saying what needed to be said, Ohtani immediately returned to his own practice. He didn't repeat himself, and he didn't make a big deal out of it. There was no special speech designed to captivate people like a salesman. But the way he approaches his daily training, the intensity of his preparation, and the consideration he shows toward his teammates. Because of those daily habits, the players around him see Ohtani as a clear standard to strive for. When Betts said, "I saw what a true leader looks like," those words didn't come from witnessing just that single moment during practice. They came from watching Ohtani's daily dedication and the unshakable standard that exists within him. And because Betts had seen that over and over again, that moment simply made him say those words with even greater conviction.
Thanks for watching all the way through. What did you think? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue to follow Shohei Ohtani's incredible journey. See you